I need the money tomorrow, she said, her voice sharp, almost like glass breaking. Her hand shook faintly, but her eyes were steady, cold, unyielding, like someone issuing a sentence. She slid a folder across the table. $750,000, my parents' debt. You'll handle it, she added, her tone leaving no room for argument, and no delays. The restaurant hummed softly around us, the clink of cutlery, muted laughter drifting from nearby tables. She smiled at the waiter, but didn't spare me another glance. I watched her sip her wine, a task accomplished, as if I were just another item on her checklist. That was the moment I understood, not the first whisper of betrayal, but its confirmation. I returned her smile with a quiet, "Okay." She didn't notice the slight release of my fingers, the subtle exhale I let out. Hours later, I was at the airport. By the time she got home, all she would find was a locked door and a box. When I first met her, she was warm, draped in sophistication, a woman who made you feel chosen. I mistook that attention for love. We married quickly. Too quickly, my friend warned. But love ignores reason when it's drunk on validation. Her parents adored me at first. Then came the favors, the investments, the signatures borrowed in my name. They used my reputation as collateral, my trust as a credit line. And she, my wife, became the bridge. Every smile, every kiss was a silent transaction. When her father died, I covered the hospital bills. When her mother fell ill, I mortgaged my car. And when she hugged me and whispered, "You're my anchor," I believed her. Until one evening, a phone call shattered that illusion. She was in the study, door half closed. I only passed by to grab my charger. Her voice was soft, teasing even. "Yes, he'll transfer it. He always does. He thinks it's for my parents' debt." A pause, a quiet laugh. "No, he doesn't know about the accounts. Or us." The word us hit me like a gunshot. I stepped back before she could see me. In the hallway mirror, my reflection stared back, calm, composed. But inside, I'd stopped breathing. That night, while she slept, I went through her laptop. Emails, transfer requests, messages. She and her lover, one of her business partners, had constructed an empire atop my trust. They were siphoning company funds under guise of debt repayment. Withdrawal forms were ready. All I had to do was sign. The next morning, I didn't confront her. Emotion is noise, and noise draws attention. Instead, I started gathering evidence. Screenshots, emails, account records. I met my lawyer quietly, filed for asset protection, moved my company into a trust. Then I signed her documents, my signature, not my consent. The papers weren't for debt repayment. They were meant to route money into a joint account she controlled. I changed one digit. Her account would now lead straight to a frozen investigation fund. Meanwhile, I emptied our shared savings, quietly liquidated assets, bought a one-way ticket under my middle name. The lawyer suggested filing for divorce before vanishing. I said I'd do that later. Some finales deserve the right timing. When she demanded the money, I smiled and said, "Okay." That single word sealed her fate. I spent the next 4 hours finalizing transfers. One to her partner, the rest into accounts holding proof. Everything recorded, time-stamped, notarized. By midnight, I was gone. Boarding that plane felt like stepping out of a coffin. Before leaving, I left the box behind. Inside, her phone, still synced to her secret messages, a printed copy of the altered bank forms, a USB labeled, "You lied beautifully." I can only imagine her face when she came home. The front door locked, lights off, silence where comfort once lived. The box lay neatly on the floor, ribbon tied. She always loved presentation. She would have seen the phone first. Still unlocked, messages from her lover displayed in order. Then the documents, showing every dollar she tried to steal now frozen and under investigation. Her plans, her recordings, all sent to the authorities an hour earlier. Timing is a beautiful thing. I imagine the scream when she realized the $750,000 she thought she'd stolen was inaccessible. Her partner vanished. Accounts emptied before dawn. And me? I was in another time zone, watching city lights fade beneath clouds. She called once, then again. By the fifth, she stopped trying. A month later, my lawyer emailed. She'd filed for bankruptcy. Her mother's house repossessed. The people she manipulated had abandoned her. Justice doesn't need witnesses. It just needs patience. Now, whenever I recall her voice saying, "And no delays," I almost smile. She was right. There were no delays. Not in her ruin. Not in my freedom. Sometimes revenge doesn't roar with fire or fury. Sometimes it whispers in silence, delivered neatly in a box. And the most satisfying part? I didn't need to watch her fall. Some screams don't require an audience.